best budget phone out this year.
CMF Phone 2 Pro. Search now on Flipkart.
A maximum of 22 matches possible for India to tune up for their T20 world title defence, but it kicks off with the defence of their Asian crown. They're hoping for 7 games here. The first of those sees them take on UAE, who are back at the Asia Cup after nearly a decade. Welcome to CMF by Nothing presents ESPN Cricinfo Timeout, where Akash Chopra and Abhinav Mukund will help us set up this Group A opener. Gentlemen, thank you. Welcome back to our coverage. All the talk in the 35 days that it's been since India last played an international and the 20 odd days it's been since the squad was announced is what can the playing 11 be? There are about 1,365 possible combinations. Most of them have been used by the world. Akash Chopra, what is your 11?
Okay, so my 11 is Abhishek Sharma opening with Shubman Gill. At 3 and 4, I've got Surya Kumar Yadav and Tilak Verma. At 5 and 6, I've got Hardik Pandya and Jitesh Sharma. Followed by Shivam Dube, Akshar Patel at 8, then Varun Chakravarti, Jasprit Bumrah and Arshdeep Singh. So if you don't have to play, again conditions might actually tell you something. If these are neutral conditions, not really spin friendly conditions that we saw in the Champions Trophy, then this should be the 11.
Alright, I do already see a few talking points here, but Abhinav, is there a lot of difference in your 11 to Akash?
Actually not. I don't see the necessity for India to have 8 batters and I'd like to have an extra bowling option in terms of bringing in Kuldeep Yadav for Shivam Dube. Okay. I understand where Akash is coming from, because I think India has been tempted to play those 8 batters, extend their batting beat, whatever format even in the Test series we saw that. So I agree in terms of what Akash is coming to say in terms of his playing 11. But I'd like Kuldeep Yadav in there. Just have an extra spinner, because I feel Akshar can bowl in the power play. Just gives you an extra bowling option. Bigger grounds in Dubai. It'll give an opportunity for the spinner. But then again, we're hearing reports of grass on the surface as well. Yeah. But then how much can you trust Shivam Dube's bowling? That's the question. Do you want him as an extra batter, or are you actually picking him as an extra bowling option? That's the question. I'd rather have 4 specialist bowlers.
Yeah. In some format, you'd want Kuldeep Yadav to get some games. Sat through the entire Test series, everyone kept waiting for him to get a game. But okay, let me go batting order wise. And of course, the first question at the top is that no room for Sanju Samson. It felt after the squad was announced and Shubman Gill was named vice captain that of course he takes the opening spot. You're convinced that there's no role for Sanju Samson as a middle order keeper?
Not as a middle order keeper. If Sanju were to play, he has to bat in 1, 2 or 3. That's the 3 slots. And unfortunately, those are already taken. The day they announced Shubman Gill as the vice captain, I thought Sanju's destiny was sealed. They also, of course, named Jitesh Sharma. So you knew that you wanted a middle order wicket keeping option. So Sanju, in my opinion, no, he doesn't fit into my playing 11, and I don't see him actually playing.
Yeah, and as soon as the opening lineup changes and you don't want to move Surya and Tilak at 3 and 4 wherever you bat them, automatically Jitesh Sharma, with the kind of finishing prowess he has, becomes the default pick.
It does, and you've got very few middle order wicket-keeper batters. Most of them are opening or top 3 batters in world cricket. Even Dhruv Jurel is another option that India flirted with in the past. But I think Jitesh Sharma's had a very good IPL, and I think Indian selection nowadays is heavily based on the IPL and what you do and where you bat. So that's why I think Jitesh Sharma is being preferred in that middle order role, and that makes a lot of sense. But then again, it will depend on where he bats, because Akshar was seen batting at 5 for his IPL franchise. He's done that for India a few times in T20s, especially in the T20 World Cup. We saw him being promoted. So where does Jitesh bat? Is he used as a designated finisher, like how India used DK a few years back as a last 20 ball specialist? Or do they actually put him at 5? That's the question.
Weigh in on that?
He won't be at 5, is what I'm thinking, because you already got too many options. Akshar Patel is one of those. I think India will see a lot of left-hand, right-hand combinations playing out in the middle, and that will start right from number 3 and 4. If a lefty gets out, you will get Tilak Verma. If a right-hander gets out, that could be Surya Kumar Yadav. And then there is, of course, Hardik Pandya. I mean, there will always be a temptation that you're getting somebody back into the setup You want him to actually get enough overs to bat, but is that the role that is available or up for grabs? Because the moment you do that, Hardik Pandya will get only 10 balls to bat. So that is not something that you're okay with. And in my 11, I've already got Shivam Dube. Shivam Dube followed by Akshar Patel. So you've got enough batting order, batting prowess and strength, even if you're going really deep into the batting order. So Jitesh Sharma, I also feel, not just Jitesh Sharma, Gautam keeps saying, 1, 2 are confirmed and everybody else is flexible. So be prepared for that as well to actually unfold as the tournament progresses.
Right. Now, just on the bowling combination, of course, India do know there is one combination of 4, which would be their best possible bowling lineup. Kuldeep, Varun, Arshdeep, Bumrah. With the way they want to play their T20 cricket, fielding that combination becomes difficult. You have room for Kuldeep. You don't, but over the course of this Asia Cup, in the lead up to a T20 World Cup, which will be played in home conditions, how would you go about picking those 3 specialist bowlers?
See, it's very, very tempting. I mean, you really want Kuldeep and Varun to play together because that's 8 over of high quality spin that will stifle the opposition and also give you wickets. But that also means that you will not have a batter at 8. And is modern day T20 cricket actually aligned for that? Are you actually playing that brand of cricket as well is the question that the Indian team needs to ask. While I am also tempted. I mean, if you have Kuldeep, he should play every single game. He could have actually should have played a few test matches in England as well. But then he doesn't get a game in the longest format because you need batting depth. So if you keep playing all-rounders in the purest format, this is a format for all-rounders. So I actually, however much I want him to play, I don't see him getting a game unless the conditions are something similar to what we saw in the Asia Cup or rather Champions Trophy rather, where you drop one pacer, new ball is taken by Bumrah with Hardik Pandya and then you can field as many spinners as you want and then Kuldeep plays. Otherwise, it's going to be a tough one.
But then again, you've got 3 specialist options in that 11, which I don't know. I'm not comfortable. If you're asking my opinion, and I think I'm not too comfortable with Hardik, Akshar, and Dube. If you're going to go in with that, fill in 8 overs of your bowling. That feels a little thin.
It appears from the nets that India are taking Abhishek Sharma's bowling option a lot more seriously, but you'd still not be that convinced about 8 overs between the 4 of them.
4 of them, right? And you've got Tilak Varma's off spin to also use if you want, because Surya's done that in the past. He's bowled Rinku, he's bowled himself, he's done all of that over the last year or so. So I'd still want 4 proper bowling options, especially to start off with. If you're doing an India UAE preview, I'd rather go in with 4 specialist options.
And that is where I actually, for this one game, I don't want to go because these guys haven't played T20 cricket for forever now. I mean, and the next game is Pakistan. So you want to field the 11 that is going to take field against Pakistan on the 14th. Therefore, even otherwise, you would also have a thought that why do you need Bumrah against the UAE? I mean, you can always have Harshit Rana play or a different combination, but you can't do that because Bumrah hasn't played for the last 45 days. So you can't really, there's the chances or the possibilities of maneuvering at this stage with no game time whatsoever coming into this tournament is, I think it's not available to the Indian team.
This game is, as you say, a trailer to bigger contests that lie ahead. This conversation is a trailer to, I guess, what is going to be a recurring theme. I don't think this is the last we've heard of the number 8 and who it should be for the next few weeks. But let's turn our attention towards UAE, who have made it to this Asia Cup ahead of a team like Nepal, who was so impressive at last year's T20 World Cup. UAE were the winners of the ACC Men's Premier Cup. Abhinav, what can we expect from UAE?
Look, I think they've put up some good performances of late. I was watching the tri-series with Afghanistan and Pakistan, and it felt like on those smaller grounds in Sharjah that they packed a lot of power, especially that middle order. The top order consists of the skipper, Mohammad Wasim, who's sort of like the sheet anchor role. He tries and plays through the innings, but then you've got some decent power in the middle order as well. And their bowling can surprise you. If there are some helpful conditions on offer, like what we've been hearing in Dubai, the new ball, it can surprise you a little bit. We saw a couple of deliveries just rearing up even in Sharjah of the tall pacer. So I think they're here to compete. I know India are very, very clear favourites, but I think this will put UAE cricket on the map as well. They haven't played India in a very, very long time. So it's important that they play these bigger nations. And I'm expecting some spirited performances from them in this tournament.
We have seen flashes of quality from UAE even after that tournament last year to qualify for this edition. They beat Bangladesh in UAE in May. After that, but there's inconsistency because they went and lost a couple of weeks to Uganda in a week in Africa. In this recently concluded tri-series, they did compete. They had decent positions in most of their 4 games. So what does that tell you about this side, and what about the level up that this contest poses for them?
Well, this is the contest, to be fair, and they also know it. Sometimes when you are actually playing a team that's so far ahead of you, you actually, there are 2 ways of approaching it. Either you resign to the fate and you say, you know what, we'll try our best, but you know what's going to happen. Or you go out all guns blazing and you have a couple of individual performances that lift the game for everyone else around. So we'll find out which UAE we actually end up seeing in that encounter, because see, India is a heavyweight, and when you look at the batting order, you dismiss to India's say worst possible start for India, 30 for 3. But then you look at the batting order and you say, oh God. So that is where you know where your games are actually lost or won. So UAE's job is cut out. If they can compete, that's great, and if they can beat Pakistan, that will be even better. And because that's what they've been talking about, right? One upset. They said we can actually beat Pakistan, and we'll compete against India. That's what I actually read. So beating Pakistan is more realistic.
Sounds like it's come from their coach, because there will be a familiar face in the UAE dugout, because Lalchand Rajput, who Indian fans will remember as the coach of their 2007 T20 World Cup triumph, he is UAE's head coach right now. I'm not going to ask for predictions on this one. No. Akash, Abhinav, thank you so much for your time. Absolute pleasure. That does it for this preview. India versus UAE. They've only played the one T20. That was at the 2016 Asia Cup, where India ran out comfortable winners. Be sure to join our coverage just ahead of toss time on CMF by Nothing presents ESPN Cricinfo Timeout.
Best budget thrown out this year.
CMF Phone 2 Pro. Search now on Flipkart.